So, Jenni, tell me a little bit about how you first got interested in cybersecurity.
I originally became introduced to information security through a capture the flag competitions when I was in high school. Actually, I really liked problem solving, but just in a different capacity than maybe one would think when they think about information security. I really subscribed to this paradigm of, you're either left-brained or you're right-brained. So I thought, because I really love reading, I love writing essays, I love looking at art, that kind of thing, then maybe I don't have the capacity to do the really, logical problem solving.
What was your first CTF experience like? Did it make you go, oh, I really want to do more of this? Or was it kind of a...
Oh, I remember my first CTF. The way that Pico CTF is structured is, Jeopardy style. So there's different categories. I think that really helped me, that sort of structure, because for one, when I got into it, it was like a buffet, so it's like over here we have some cryptography, over here we have some web exploitation. I got to choose kind of what I wanted to try with the gamification. Definitely for me as a beginner, there's something really motivating about finishing a challenge and then saying, oh, I did it. I can do the next one. It really helps you develop the confidence to continue going, continue trying. There's a lot of sort of information security communities that I have some involvement with. Originally, pre-COVID, I looked for actually in-person groups. So for instance, there's a local digital forensics and incident response group in my area that I was involved with. I also found a lot of groups through like Twitter and Discord that were specifically interested in open source intelligence, which is something that I was really interested in as well. CTF Time is a website that kind of aggregates all of these different CTFs, and a lot of these CTFs, they will try and organize players via Discord or some other instant messaging app, and that's a good way to meet team members. When I did the CyberStart Fast Track Scholarship Competition, the CTF, that's one way where I met a lot of people who are really interested in CTFs, and I have definitely stayed in touch with a lot of them and done CTFs with some of those people.
What are the areas that you think are most interesting in cybersecurity?
So the two domains that I find myself extremely attracted to would be malware analysis and also open source intelligence. I also really like looking at malware. It fills me with joy when I get to see malware execute on a host. Maybe that sounds crazy, but...
Well, not to me, but I suspect to quite a few people it might.
Typically, when I talk with people, they are talking with me as if I'm like a mage from another realm, it's like I try and explain stuff to them. They're like, oh my gosh, you must be so smart. You're so technical. I would never be able to understand that. And I'm just like, you already have these skills. You don't know that you can apply them in the same way that I am. I would encourage people to foster a sense of curiosity in themselves, over any sort of, technical skills are obviously important, but I feel like that's something that can be learned. You just need to be able to get past the mental barrier of, being scared of information security and actually try and apply those skills that you already have. So I actually started off at UCSD as a literature major. I found as I was going through my undergraduate degree, I was also taking required mathematics classes, and I realized, hey, this is really cool. How come I didn't really enjoy this when I was in high school? And I think at that point, I was kind of building up the confidence where, I'm kind of recognizing, hey, I really like problem solving. I came to the conclusion that this is going to sound really silly, but studying math is like the closest thing that you can do to become an alchemist.
I love that. I love that.
Because numbers have these really interesting intrinsic properties. And so I was really attracted to that. And also I wanted to challenge myself. I had always put myself in a box where I thought, hey, I don't really have the technical capacity to do well in STEM. But I was kind of realizing, hey, I'm analyzing Russian literature, and that's really hard. So why can't I do this?
What things would really attract you to a particular employer or organization?
I think one of the biggest things for me is being able to give candidates a sense of ownership. That's something that's extremely important to me. I'm a very responsible person in that once I commit to doing something, I love to see it to the end. And I love to see the impact that my actions do. Organizations that empower their employees by giving them ownership and responsibility, it helps them see the impact of the work they're doing, but also it allows them to progress.
This isn't just work for you, is it?
Honestly, I never thought I would be this happy to go to work on a daily basis. You know, I love that I get to touch so many different things. Maybe my interest will change in the future, but for right now, there's just so much for me to be excited about and curious about. I'm not exaggerating when I say that Fast Track, it really changed my life. I really think going through that entire process, it really made me come to the conclusion like, hey, I want to do this.